Hey y'all, let's talk about whether luxury pieces are really worth the investment. Hey y'all, I'm Nikki Olukoya. If you are new here, welcome. I'll talk about all things luxury here, especially handbags. But in today's video, I want to talk about whether luxury pieces are truly investments, whether they're worth the investments, and why sometimes we choose to buy or not buy them. And if you have been here before, hey sis, welcome back. I want to talk about whether luxury is really truly the investment. And before I get into it, if luxury is not for you, this content is not for you, you don't like luxury, please go ahead and scroll away from my video. I'm holding my microphone today because when I had it clipped and I replayed my audio, I didn't sound as clear as I wanted to. So I am holding it. Any negative comments will be deleted. So yeah, I want to talk about whether luxury items truly are investment pieces and what are we really investing in. Okay, so I want to break down luxury investments as either personal or financial. And I want to start with financial first. When it comes to financial, I think we should be able to break it down into different categories such as bags, watches, jewelry, shoes, etc. Starting with bags. So, of course, if you are someone that thinks that luxury is for a financial investment, then I think the top brands to talk about will be Hermes and Chanel. If I'm missing any other brand, let me know down in the comment box. But I think so far I want to just kind of stay on those two brands because now that I have been shopping both pre-loved and retail, I'm definitely seeing some great benefits in buying pre-loved, and there's still some benefits in buying it retail. Now, of course, with Hermes and this Hermes game, we already know. Of course, buying an Hermes bag, we're talking about bags here. Hermes bags in boutique are definitely less than buying them on the pre-loved market. So if you are in the Hermes game, you're doing all that and you're buying these bags, then of course you're going to make a lot of money when you do put that bag into the pre-loved market. Because let me tell you, when I see these mini Kellys and how much they cost retail and how much they're costing on the pre-loved market, it's insane how much of an investment, how much that really does grow. Hermes is a brand that I think is never going to go out of style. It is a heritage brand. It has such a great legacy and it's never really a trend. A lot of its pieces are truly classics, truly icons. And of course, we all know about the Hermes Birkin and Kelly. Those are really the top two that hold their value the most. Now, it might be different in other countries where a quota bag does include the constants, but I know at least the top two that I've seen both pre-love and retail, Hermes Birkin and Hermes Kelly are definitely top tier. Growing up, it was more like my holy grail bag, the bag that I knew that I always wanted to have in my collection was always going to be a Birkin bag. And to me, I will buy that over and over again. And I do want to have an Hermes journey and all of that. But as of right now, I will pay a little bit at retail or over to get the exact bag that I want. Hermes is expensive either way. And sometimes to me, it's better to skip the line and get the exact bag that you want rather than get the bag that you're offered. Yeah, you make a wish list, but you may not always get the bag that you're looking for. So the best part about the pre-love market when it comes to Hermes, yes, it does come with a premium sometimes, but at least you're getting exactly what you want. And it'll still be a bag that will hold its value. Chanel is another one. I don't know whether Chanel is still, there was a lot of issues with Chanel and their customer service and how it is in boutique. But Chanel is another brand that does hold its value. And whenever I shop pre-loved or retail, they tend to kind of still be around the same retail price. If there is a bag that is trending, trust and believe it will cost more on the retail market. Because that Chanel 25 bag, I did see it on Fashion File. I think it was Fashion File that I saw it. And it was going for almost $10,000. I want to say it was in small size. And I know retail, that bag is not 10K, but because it's trending, it is the it bag right now. It is definitely going to cost you a pretty penny, okay, on the pre-loved market. You're better off just waiting to see when the trend dies down to start investing or buying that Chanel bag, because you never know. It's high right now, but the market may cool down on that bag. So in the realm of handbags, I believe that Hermes and Chanel, if you are into buying these bags for a financial investment, those are the top two brands to really invest in. Now, other brands like Prada, Dior, Gucci, Saint Laurent are also really good luxury bags as well, but they don't hold their value as well as Hermes and Chanel. So if you're not into stuff like that, if you don't want to spend the price tag in retail, buying these bags pre-loved, you will save money. I know right now there's a Louis Vuitton Capucines bag that I do love. I know I have seen it in the retail store and it's very expensive retail. I'm not going to spend the money retail. I'm going to get the bag on the pre-loved market. Long as it's in good condition, like I always say before, I will go ahead and just get my bag pre-loved. That bag is surely not worth getting in store. And I look at stuff like that too now that I'm having mindful luxury shopping. I'm not going to buy a bag that's going to be well more retail than I can get in the pre-loved market. Like to me, Gucci is not very expensive. So I think I will still go into the Gucci store and buy Gucci. I don't see the need to buy it on the pre-loved market. I love my Gucci store, my Gucci essay. I love Gucci as a whole. So I definitely don't mind still going to the store or going in online and buying it. Same thing with Fendi. Fendi and me, we're trying to get back together, but I will still probably buy Fendi pre-love before I buy retail, and especially Dior, because Dior is really expensive and it just does not hold its value. It's just when you see it on a pre-loved market, I'm thinking, okay, I can save at least $2-3 grand. I'll just buy it pre-loved and get the exact bag that I want. And there aren't a lot of bags in Dior that I even really care for or like. It's very, very few. But I know that this bag, there is another one, the Micro de Joy. I still love that bag, but there are not a lot of Dior bags that I'm racing to get. I still love Prada. I don't know what it is. Like my Prada Saffiano tote. I talk about that bag a lot in a lot of my videos, but my Prada Saffiano tote, I love that bag, but it has a very low resale value. So if you're looking to eventually get that bag, I would literally suggest getting it pre-loved. If you don't mind spending the money retail and it not holding its value, that's a whole nother thing for you. I totally get it, right? But if you are someone that looks at that, then yeah, for sure it is better to get it pre-loved and save a few dollars on that. That's my best advice on it. Let's go ahead and jump into watches. Watches for sure. And I don't know whether it's women's watches or men's watches, because I feel like there are more men into watches than women. So I feel like my opinion and my view might be a little bit skewed. Let's comment down below about it, because I feel like not a lot of women are into watches. So seeing it on the pre-loved or the resale market, I think there's a small niche for that. Anyway, I think if you're looking at, let's say, Rolex. Rolex is one of those brands. It's a heritage brand. It has a lot of history. It has a very unique movement. I think people love Rolex. It has a lot of brand recognition as well. And I really feel like with the Rolex, they do hold their value. And of course, some more than others. I think that's what, let's first of all say, I think with any brand, there are some items in the brand that hold their value more than others. And when I think about Rolex and some of the lines of their watches, I want to say the Submariner holds their value more. Daytonas hold their value. You can really get a good date just for a really good price, and stuff like that. I've seen those kind of high and low. But also what I've learned shopping the pre-loved market when it comes to Rolex is that if you get a watch and you modify it or you're buying it with mods, it does affect the price of the Rolex, right? So if you buy it in store and then you go and add all these different things to it, it does bring down the value of the watch because it's not the parts that came from Rolex. And sometimes Rolex won't even service your watch if it does have aftermarket mods. So be aware of that too if you're someone that's buying it for a financial investment. If you are going to modify your Rolex, keep all the original pieces to the watch. If you're someone that wants to buy to eventually sell, keep everything. Also, another watch brand that holds their value, we already know it's going to be an AP, a Patek. I haven't seen them at a super low price. I've seen them either extremely high or right at market value. The only time that I have seen a AP or Patek that's quite under retail is when it doesn't come with box or papers. And I'm the kind of person where I need box and papers. If I'm spending this number on this watch, I have to know that it is what it is and that it has a service booklet. It has a time when it was last serviced. I need those things. I don't really care if it's new or if it's a style that I'm shopping for. I don't care about the year, or I do care about the condition, but it has to be that it has everything, a last service date. When I take it to the store, I feel confident that it is what it says that it is. So that's how I feel. And right now I am in the market to get an AP. My secret's out. And I have to go back and redo my luxury wish list because, sis, that wish list that I gave out in January, it has changed. We're only 6 months into the year. Okay. But yeah, AP, Patek, Rolex, definitely all hold their value, some more than others. But I don't want to get into too much with the details with that. But just know that if you are going to buy from the pre-loved market, a watch of that sort, I encourage you to try to get all the information that you can to ensure that it is authentic. There are a lot of good one-to-ones out there that sometimes they can even trick some of the best watch dealers. Is really just on the safe side to get all the documentation of that watch. Of course, there are some watches that's not Patek and they're not AP, they're not Rolex. You know, there are other brands such as Hermes, Versace, Gucci, Fendi. I feel like all the fashion houses have watches, and those watches tend to not hold their value. So if you're buying them to buy them because you like them, you like what they look like, you don't really care whether they hold their value or not, then of course buy them. It's whatever makes you happy. But if you are buying for a financial investment, normally the watches that come from brands like that, they are not made out of any real gold. There's not really any real diamonds or anything like that. Usually on these watches, they're not going to hold their value. Hermes do have a couple watches that do have diamonds on the dial that tend to be a little bit more expensive, and they do hold their value a little bit more on the resale market. But like a Fendi watch or a Gucci watch, you see them pre-loved. You find them on sale all the time anyway. They don't hold their value. So it just depends on what you're out here looking for. In the world of jewelry, bracelets, earrings, necklaces, rings, and all of that, we already know what the big names are. We all know Cartier. We all know VCA. You know, but there's also Bulgari. Oh, Bulgari has a lot of nice pieces out right now. And so to me, the way jewelry is a financial investment is if you're really buying from the bigger brands, right? And when you're going to one of these dealers or resellers who you want to sell your items to, it's really good to know that the brand does carry enough weight where you will still get a lot of money for your item, right? If you're trying to sell it. And so the thing about it though, too, like I said before, with the watches, try to have all your documentation with you to prove that it is what it says that it is. Because if not, gold is still gold, right? A diamond is still diamond, right? And they have all the equipment to figure out whether it's a real gold bracelet or not and real diamond or not. So that's already taken care of. But sometimes the brand does add a little bit more to the price tag. If I'm wrong, let's chat down below about that, because I have seen a negotiation where someone had to sell their love bracelet, but they didn't have any documentation to prove that it was from Cartier. So the dealer only bought it for its gold, and it ended up being a lot less. So that's my whole thing about buying jewelry. So really buying from the bigger fashion houses tend to hold their value a little bit more than not buying it from those markets. And so I know that I've seen Cartier in the pre-loved market, and sometimes it's priced a little bit more than what I've seen in store. And in those cases, I would always buy Cartier in store. I have not seen a resale price that I like because it's usually higher. And to me, Cartier has a lot of affordable pieces once again. So I would rather just go to Cartier and buy it brand new for a lesser price than buying it pre-loved is used for a higher price. I don't know. That's how I am about jewelry. Hermes bags is very different. But as far as jewelry, that's not how I spend my money. I'd rather go ahead and just buy it brand new in store and pay less for it. VCA, another brand, especially that Alhambra line, all that is going to be a whole lot more pre-loved. I've seen it happen. You're better off going into VCA and buying it brand new in store. Bulgari too. Bulgari I've seen a little bit less than retail. It's not a bunch off of retail. I did get my Bulgari watch from the pre-loved market, and I think I saved maybe about $1,000 to $1,500 off of it, which to me was still a save. And I'm very happy with it. I got the box, the papers, the service card. I got everything that I need with my Bulgari watch. But I do know that Bulgari is a little bit less on the pre-loved market. And so I am shopping for the Serpenti bracelet. And so if I can find it under retail on the pre-loved market, gold, even with gold with diamonds, I'll probably get it. If not, I'll definitely go into the Bulgari store and buy it. I met a wonderful SA. She was really sweet, spent a good amount of time with us in the store. I would definitely get it from the retail store if I'm unable to find what I'm looking for pre-loved. All right, let's get into shoes. I don't know whether we ever talk about shoes much. I do have quite a few luxury shoes in my wardrobe. I haven't worn all of them. Some of them I just like because I like the way that they look. And then some of them I haven't worn because the fit's kind of off. But looking at designer heels as a financial investment, I don't think any of them really are worth anything. I'm just gonna put it like that. Unless maybe it's new in box or something like that. I really don't know, but I think I have not really seen any that's been around the same price or higher. They tend to be lower in value, and some companies don't even take designer heels. So that's why I'm like, if you're buying luxury shoes and heels because you like the way they look, then know that you may not get any return on them. It's not going to be a financial investment. You need to be buying it for the love of the shoe, the love of the brand, the love of the style, how it fits, the comfort. Because once you wear it out and try to sell it, the value of it is like a car. It goes down right out the door. So it's just, to me, luxury heels just have a higher risk of depreciation. They don't hold their value. You're really better off trying to invest your money in something else, and it's not going to be heels. Overall, I think that if you are shopping for a financial investment in the hopes of breaking even or even making some type of profit, just know that keeping everything, all the original pieces to your watch, or even keeping all the receipts, all the certificates, all the boxes, even the bags, the more you're able to keep with that item, the more money you're going to probably get for what you bought. Is when you start throwing things away, you're not keeping things and you're selling it, you're probably going to lose a lot behind what you're trying to sell. You are better off keeping up everything, especially in the world of watches and jewelry. If you keep everything, more than likely, you're going to get more back, or at least get close. May not be even, but you're going to get close to what you paid back if that's why you're buying luxury items. And now there's another way for us to look at investing in luxury. And that could be your own personal style, your personal brand, your personal look, your personal growth. For me, I like to buy luxury items. It is not for the financial reason. I like to buy luxury for the personal investment, investing in myself, elevating my style, elevating my wardrobe. And it's not to say that only luxury items can give you that, but I do like quality. I do like the style, especially when it's like a collaboration. I really tend to be drawn to just items from Hermes, Gucci, certain things, and I just buy it for me because I like it. And I know also too that not everyone is gonna have what I have, and this also makes it even more special. And also, it's just the confidence that it gives me when I do buy from these brands, and it's something that I truly love and like, and it's special for me. And right now, I'm in a space where my personal style is changing. It's been evolving into something else, and I'm kind of excited about that. I've been loving different pieces of jewelry, different pieces of watches, different items of clothing, and that's my personal journey. And so when I look at the ready to wear and stuff like that, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Now, investing in luxury ready to wear, it doesn't have to be that you're spending so much money all the time on these items. Looking classy and looking elevated doesn't always translate into how much you spent on that item. I want to be real clear on that because you can dress up anything. To me, it's about the quality, the uniqueness. Those things play a part in when I buy something. Could be different for everybody. I'm talking about myself. For me, I like to buy things that are quality in their clothing material, quality in how they crafted it, and whether it's a special, unique design. Collaborations are also really good with like handbags and with jewelry and with shoes. I like that for my personal style, for my personal investment. When it comes to jewelry though, jewelry I'm a little bit different on because I want to just buy the gold. I want to buy the diamonds. It doesn't have to come from the major fashion houses. I want to just encourage everyone, if you want to buy these things, but you don't want to spend the big price tag, whether pre-loved or retail, you can always find a jeweler that makes these pieces and they'll make it close to how you want it. You can save so much more money. And I've seen that a lot because what I want is the gold. I want the style, the gold, and the diamonds. So if I can save like $4,000 on that because I had a jeweler make it for me, and then I'll do that because it's not about whether is it Cartier or is it VCA, is it gold? Is it diamonds? That's how I see it for myself because that's what I want. I want the style. And so that's what I think makes jewelry kind of unique because I'm not someone that's buying jewelry for the investment. So I will definitely go to smaller jewelers, or I would probably go to someone that can make me the pieces that I want because I don't buy jewelry for investment. I buy jewelry for my personal growth, my personal elevation and style is why I would buy it in that way. As far as handbags, as far as shoes, I definitely like to look at the luxury brands and see what they have because that's just my style. This is what I like. And so as I grow and elevate and change my style, that's what I use it for. So it's for my personal investment, investing in me. And even with makeup and in skincare, I don't want to break the bank to do it, but I will spend a little bit more. See, that's the investment. I will spend a little bit more if it means getting the right makeup that suits my skin, or getting the right skincare parts that suit my skincare routine. It's little things like that. And so when I do spend is, how is it going to elevate me? How is it going to serve me? How does it function in my life? And whether I just like to have it because I want to have it. All those things contribute to my happiness. And to me, that's my real investment. So I hope that makes sense. Let's go ahead and chat down in the comment box below and we can talk about that some more. For more one-on-one conversation, as usual, send me a message on Instagram and we can talk more there. But anyway, let me go ahead and leave you with subscribe to my channel and watch my next video. I'll see you back in my next video.